Welcome to Entrepreneur State of Mind. I'm your host, Dr. Dale Caldwell, and we have a dynamic entrepreneur, as we always do on the show. Allegra, welcome to Entrepreneur State of Mind.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You are a true entrepreneur, and and I always like to start with people's original stories. And where'd you grow up, and tell me, how did you get into entrepreneurship? So where'd you grow up?
Okay, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, Detroit. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
born and raised on the east side.
Okay.
So coming up, we were always taught to go to school, and you want to get a good job.
Right.
Not necessarily college. College wasn't a thing was pushed in my family.
In your family, okay.
Right.
It was more about working, making money, and surviving.
Right, and going to school and get a good job. Because as you know, most people know Detroit is known as the Motor City.
Right, correct.
So a lot of people that worked, that lived in Detroit, their goal was to get into one of the big three.
Right. The General Motors or Ford or those.
Oh, Chrysler.
And
Now it's called Daimler Chrysler.
Right?
Exactly.
Right.
And you can do that and also, and make a nice living.
Right.
And then they would also have tuition assistance if you wanted to go back to school.
Okay.
That was a way that you could pay for your education.
Right.
So a lot of my family members did that. And I did as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So who did you work for?
Daimler Chrysler.
Okay.
Yes, 6 years.
Okay.
But I walked away from Daimler Chrysler to do for self.
Okay, so you started that, and what did you do at Daimler Chrysler?
Well, I worked in the factory.
Okay, so
Yes.
you were on the assembly line.
No. I worked in what they call the retirement home in the company, the parts division.
Oh, really? Okay.
So Mopar parts. So every part that was ordered and needed all over the world came from our distribution center.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See, I'm an East Coast guy, so I'm fascinated with what goes on in Detroit because I have no idea. Oh, yeah. But I can understand the mentality. People said, well, if you get a job here, you're set for life.
Set for life.
And so you don't necessarily need college because if you're working on the assembly. All right, so you did that. So what prompted you to say, I want to leave this cushy life and take a chance?
Okay, well, as you know, my last name is Muhammad. I am a Muslim. I'm in the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
So under the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we're taught do for self.
Right.
I made my transition into the nation in the plant.
Okay. Oh,
so
really?
when I first started at Daimler Chrysler, I was not in the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
I started studying and I joined. And so studying and listening and learning, I wanted to use my energy and my time for myself. Right. And I started thinking, what am I really good at?
Right.
What could I make a business out of?
Okay.
Doing,
Yeah.
making a living. And don't get me wrong, it's not like you jump from, making this income to this one. No.
Right. You built it up while you were.
It was some struggle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was some growing pains.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So I had literally put my stuff in storage. Went and rented a room.
Really?
And started my cleaning business.
Well, now, did you have a family at the time, or you?
Well, yes, I had my son, but my son at that particular time. Now I'm in Philadelphia.
Okay.
I skipped over a lot, but in between that. But I'm in Philadelphia. My son was with my mother, still in
up in Detroit.
In Detroit,
Okay.
Well, outside, but we just say
right.
the tri-state area in Detroit. And so that's what I did. Is I put my stuff in storage and started my cleaning business. I went to Walmart.
Okay.
Got a vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
Cleaning supplies, bucket mop.
Now, did you start that in Michigan?
No, Philadelphia.
Oh, so you decided to come to Philly. And that's when you started your thing.
Yes.
Your business. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so why did you pick that business out of all? And I ask these questions because I want people here who are watching to say, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know where to start. So what gave you that thought?
Why did I pick the cleaning business? Because I was good at it.
You're good at it. You
My
felt
grandmother taught me. She used to clean people's homes when I was coming up.
Okay.
And she raised me for, first 10 years of my life.
Okay.
And I used to go with her to help her clean
houses.
houses.
Oh, really? So
yes.
Did she pay you when you did that?
Well, pay it. What kind of
paid
way?
you in other ways.
Other
Right,
ways.
okay.
When you went to the mall, you could pick up something.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Okay.
You know how when we came up, well, this generation now, and I'm talking to with the SWAP members,
right?
They don't know what chores are.
Right.
But we had chores coming up.
Right, absolutely.
And one of my chores was to do the dishes, mop,
right,
the front stairs, the back stairs, clean the living room, the dining room, and when she wanted you to clean it, that meant the baseboards.
Okay.
That meant the window seals.
Okay.
You know,
so you got very detail oriented. You clean when you clean. You clean.
Exactly.
Right.
So I was taught that at a young age, and it would take me all day. But I was so glad because I always wanted to be just like my grandmother.
Right.
I always wanted to be just like my grandmother.
Right.
And she said, "Baby," she said, "you may not have much, but you could always be neat and clean.
Right. Right.
Nobody should be able to look at you and tell you don't have a dollar in your pocket."
Right. Right.
She said, "You don't wear your situation."
Right.
So that was one of the things she had instilled in me. And so when I was thinking about what can I do, that's what I'm good at. I do that without even thinking about it.
Well, see, and that's the thing. I wrote a book on influence, and we're all products of our influence. Yet we're not in touch with the fact that we do what we do, think the way we think, and accomplish what we accomplish because of influences. And that's that. Okay, so you started your business. What did you do first? What was the first thing you did? I think this is important for the listeners to hear. So you're starting this business. What did you do first?
I had to come up with a name.
Okay. Okay.
So I had a conversation with God. And I asked God, what should I name my business? Because I didn't want to do business, and I have to say this, like this world do business. I want to do business like God wanted me to do business.
Okay.
I want to treat people right.
Right. Right.
I want to do a good job.
Right.
But I didn't want to necessarily sell my soul or my morals to make a dollar, to compromise my belief system to make a dollar.
Right.
That I
You
didn't
want
want
to put money ahead of people.
And no, exactly.
Right. And so many businesses do. But small businesses really realize it's about people. That you've got to put the people first. Big businesses often put dollars before people.
No.
But that's why I'm doing this show, because I really want the world to know entrepreneurship, support small businesses, support local businesses.
Yes.
The big businesses are the ones that rip you off, not the local businesses.
Right. Like how the Bible said, "We'll profit man to gain the whole world, lose your soul." So in starting a business, that was not negotiable.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And I didn't want to go into debt.
Right.
So I started small, and I had to cut some of my liabilities. That's why I put my stuff in storage, because I couldn't commit to the paying rent, lights, gas, and all of that.
Right.
And I don't have not one customer yet.
Right.
Went to Staples, printed off some flyers, and started walking down the street, literally.
Now, for residential homes or for commercial?
Initially, it was residential.
Okay, all right.
When I was trying to get started, I didn't have a clue.
Right.
I went and got books, how to start a business, this and that.
Right.
Because it's good to have different references, but they didn't tell you how to get a customer.
Right. Now, what year was it that you started?
That was in 2006.
Okay, so 2006. Now, have you worked with the small business development centers?
I know.
Okay, and so that's one of the things. I've started this program in Nashville called Entrepreneur Zones, and the idea is there's small business development centers everywhere in this country that for free provide a lot of the advice and consulting that businesses need. And
so what I did was, Dale, I had started passing out the flyers. Every job and any job that I could get, I took.
Right, good.
I used to do hourly starting out. I learned very fast. No, I have to be a jobber.
Right, okay. So you charge per job?
Per job.
Right, okay.
You'll get to know, sometimes the bear eats you, they say, and sometimes you eat the bear.
Right.
But you'll get to know by looking at a job how long it'll take you.
Once you have experience, this
Once
is what
you have experience.
Yeah.
And then I had to find my niche.
Right.
What makes me different from any other cleaning company?
Right. We call that your unique selling proposition, the USP.
Right. So it's called Nice and Neat Cleaning Service.
Right.
Everything has to be nice and neat. But I just didn't want to clean. I'm not a maid. I didn't want to be seen as a maid or a housekeeper.
Right. Okay.
I do detailed cleaning.
Right.
So I tell people the difference would be you getting your car washed or you getting it detailed.
Right.
Now, when you get it washed, it's clean.
Right.
But when you get it detailed, it's cleaner.
Right.
I'm that one.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's
the things that you may not have time to do, don't want to do, or physically can't do.
Right.
That's when you call a person like me.
Right.
You don't need a person like me every week, every month, so to speak, depending on how you live and whatnot. But I can't see that.
Right.
The kind of cleaning that I do. I mean, you may pull out the refrigerator and clean behind the refrigerator, clean behind the stove.
Right.
Like I said, you don't need that every week, every month, maybe quarterly.
Right. But you're specialized in a higher quality.
Exactly.
You know.
So a lot of my customers are investors or contractors
Right.
that do rehab or new construction.
Oh, really?
So I make
Oh,
it
interesting.
move-in ready.
Okay.
Right. And I do move-in
okay.
and move-out cleans to
Right.
make it ready for the next tenant.
Right.
Because think about you're trying to move in and you got to stop and clean.
Right. Right.
Especially with COVID going on now, you definitely want to make
Right.
sure that everything is
It's spotless.
disinfected.
Right. Exactly.
And that you don't have no residue from the last tenant.
Right. Right.
So that's what I do.
Okay, and so your business has grown. So since then, you know,
Yes.
how has it grown?
It's over 16 years. Well, it has grown in this way as far as my clients and being more consistent.
Right.
I'm the only person, I'm a sole proprietor still. I have not grown to where I can employ people.
Okay.
Because I'm the only one that I can vouch for.
Right. Right. Right.
I had to find out how can I reproduce myself
Right.
on that level. I haven't done that as of yet.
And that's one of the challenges for entrepreneurs. Is
Yes.
that you really want to, you want to grow, but you want to make sure that the quality stays the same.
It has to stay the same.
Yeah,
That's my name. The only thing I have is my name.
Right.
And so in this business, I have a referral-based business. So when I get a phone call, someone gave you my phone number.
Right. Right. Right.
I don't have to advertise.
Right. So you're not out there knocking on doors.
I don't have to do that anymore.
Right.
And so they have an idea of who they're calling.
Right.
And what level of service they're getting.
Right, because they've talked to someone and said, "Oh, she's fantastic. I need to do that."
Exactly.
So now we're going to take a commercial break. Now we're going to come back and we're going to learn more about your business, and you've branched off into a few other things as well.
Exactly.
So we want to hear that. So we'll be right back.
Okay.
After this commercial break.
Thank you.
I'm Bob Hokertl from Kings Road Brewing Company. I'm here to tell you about a brand new show on RVN television called Cooking with the King. Each week, we're going to taste and sample some of the best beers the Kings Road Brewing Company has to offer. And we're going to talk to area chefs and restaurant owners as we pair our beer with their signature dishes. We're going to teach you how to cook and eat like a king. Cheers.
Welcome back to Entrepreneur State of Mind. I'm your host, Dr. Dale Caldwell, and we're learning about a top-notch cleaning service, and we heard the history of it. We hear you're focused, and you're so good that you're just getting referrals.
Yes.
So Allegra, so what's next for this business, the cleaning business? What's in your future?
Well, God,
how are you going to grow?
Well, God willing, I want to be able to grow and to be able to employ other people,
Right.
to reproduce myself. Baby steps.
Right.
I've been taking baby steps because I didn't want to go into debt to start a business.
Right,
I didn't want to have it to where I owe this, and then you
Right.
have that pressure,
Right.
of that. You always have to cut your liabilities
Right.
or be able to manage them. I want more assets. So, and I was thinking this. What about having a franchise? That would be a little bit more feasible for me.
Right.
If I had another person that wanted to start a cleaning business,
Right.
and then they could just use my name and whatnot,
Right.
and then use the products, and we just, buy bulk,
Right.
and we break down, and that'll cut some of our liabilities.
Right. Well, and see, and you're at this stage where you're successful. We do a lot of consulting with with small businesses. One of the other things you may want to think about, and this is what I tell a lot of small businesses, and I tell folks, is working with a nonprofit. So I have a foundation and others, and what we do is we'll work with entrepreneurs, and there are other ones out there in Philly and others that will actually train people and get funding to train the people, and then you can pick the best of the bunch. So companies can actually, so instead of investing in you taking a chance and training somebody, a lot of nonprofits will train people. They'll have quality people, and you'll pick Sally, Sue, or Joe, and try Joe out, and then Joe has what you want, or Sally has what you want. So that's one way to expand, and then doing the franchise afterwards. But it's important to really think about, because you want quality, you want to make sure it's high quality, and you can spot somebody that has that gift.
Well, one of the things that, I'm gonna back up a little bit. where Top Notch came into play.
Right.
While I was cleaning certain places,
Right.
people would ask me, well, Allegra, while you there, can you show it?
Right.
Well, Allegra, can you show it? And I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
So after a while, I don't like to do nothing for nothing.
Right.
So I'm like, wait a minute. But I was good at it.
Right.
I was good at it because I'm connected with people.
Right.
And to people, and I can relate.
Right.
And I have been a renter. Mm-hmm. So
now, are these mostly rental properties or are these to own properties?
I do property management for people that own properties but don't want to deal with the tenants.
Okay, and that's called, what's that business?
Top Notch Property Management.
So it's Top Notch Property Management.
Right,
Okay,
right. That came out of the cleaning business because, like I said, when I was there, they wanted me to show it.
Okay.
And so I always think of how can I take something and turn it into something else. And so like business go up and down. So a lot of times when the cleaning goes down, the management goes up.
Exactly.
And vice versa.
You got to balance it out.
Exactly. It's always my goal is to every time my car move, I make money.
Right.
Every time I go out my house, I make money.
Right. Well, now the next step is, and so one of the things I often say to entrepreneurs is that you want to be on the beach making money. So where you're sitting back, and that's the next goal. You want to be sliding on the beach.
Where your money working for you.
Money's working for you, and you have a staff of people doing that. And so that's the next step. But a lot of times people are scared to let go.
That's my baby. This is my baby.
Yeah, it's a bit, but that's exactly what they say. So it's your baby. But it's something you want to kind of begin to really, because the only way you can grow is really to have some trust. And now property management, before you go, does someone else do the property management, or are you doing that too?
I do that as well.
See, well, at some point you're going to stretch yourself too thin, so you've got to begin to.
Time management is so important.
We'll tell you, absolutely. Time management is key.
And I do that, but every relationship, you build it on trust.
Absolutely.
And then you build up on that. But so many people are not trustworthy.
Right.
So unfortunately, I do want to grow. I have that desire, that passion, and whatnot, but not at any expense. I want to protect my baby. And so I'm not going to just hand my baby over to just anyone. I'm sorry. And if I have to be 80 years old doing this thing, I'll be slow, but I'll be doing it.
But then that's part of the as you talk about, and that's what I love about this conversation. The challenge with franchise is just that, because it's better to even have someone in your staff where you can control it. But if the franchise, and that's where a lot of franchisees that I talk to, the quality is not the same.
Well, you know what?
And that's one of the challenges with franchises, and so
I don't know, because every time I go into certain places, I ain't gonna name no names, we ain't doing no commercials. I never had a bad experience. Some businesses, their concept, their customer service, no matter what state you go, what location you go in, they're always nice and pleasant. I do believe if you connect with the right person, they'll do it. When they invest their own money, their time and energy, it's different than having someone work for you.
Right.
When somebody work for you, sometimes it's just a job.
Right.
They just want a check.
Right.
But if they put their sweat and they blood and they tears in something, they're a little bit more cautious about that, because at the end of the day, you want to turn a profit on your investment.
Right.
You want to make sure that your investment render you a return. And so that is and that's the difference between this expanding with employees and having a franchise. And I would still be able to have my hands on it, because then we'll have quarterly meetings and whatnot, because we're still connected. And then when I do better, they'll do better, and vice versa.
I mean, again, as I said, the franchise have worked real well, but a lot of franchises don't, and so it's not it's really, and this is kind of a really good time, and this is a good lesson, I think, for folks to really begin to explore different options.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing, exploring some different options, and so you've built that business. So what about growing the Top Notch and that business? Are you looking to grow that, or are you pretty comfortable with what you have?
Well, I'm comfortable in the sense of I don't like slumlords.
Yeah,
so I had to cut the fat.
Good for you.
Listen, if I'm trying to rent a property out, it has to be something that I can stay in.
Right.
How can I sell something?
Exactly. Well, that's the right attitude. I love that.
I can't do that in good conscience. See, one thing about it, the trust factor, I work for the owner, but I'm an advocate for the tenant.
Right.
I'm putting you in a situation. All you know is me.
Right, right.
All you see is me. When you have a problem, you call me.
Right, right.
You know,
Right.
so I don't want to have you in a situation that I wouldn't want to be in. That's not right. That's not who I'm about.
Well,
I don't care
I
what
love
business,
that. I
what
love
business
that.
I'm in. I still have, you know, the mindset that I do unto others as I want done unto me.
Right, right.
So when I go in and
that is
clean
wonderful.
somebody's house, I don't want nobody stealing from me.
Right, right.
So I don't steal from no one.
Right.
They-
But that's
they-
a great customer service. I love your customer service approach. That is wonderful. That really
When
is
you
fantastic.
look at a lot of businesses, especially black-owned businesses, the one thing that we fail and brings us under is the customer service
Right,
or the
right.
lack thereof.
Right.
Another thing is the paperwork, but that's
Right,
another topic
right,
for another
right.
time. But you have to do it. It's not a hustle. It's a
Right,
business.
right.
But I'm doing business based on freedom, justice, and equality. I don't rob people.
Right.
I treat them fair, and I wanted them to be have the freedom to be them. So shop me around.
Right.
I'm not the highest. I'm not the lowest. I'm in
Right.
the middle. But go apples to apples. Hands down. You can leave. You can watch me on camera or whatever. You can watch me all day long. I'm not taking nothing from you.
Right.
And matter of fact, when I'm working with contractors or investors, I touch everything. So sometimes their contractor did something, it didn't do something,
Right.
and I'll let them know.
Right, right.
Oh, on top of the cap, oh, you know, that's not painted.
And to be honest, yeah, yeah.
Oh, this is loose.
Because they'll
Oh,
try
this
to
window is
they'll
off track.
Try to shortcut you.
They do it all the time.
Right,
But
right.
I let the customer know,
Right.
you need this address.
Now you're cleaning. Are you doing commercial? Or are you doing a number of commercial businesses?
Well-
or mostly residential?
Small commercial
Okay.
and residential.
Okay.
And I do where people reside at, but that's a harder clean.
Right.
Because you're cleaning their stuff.
Right, right,
And some people, they don't want to let go of their stuff.
right.
So it's like a pull.
A push and pull.
Right, because
Right.
I'm not coming in just to clean. I want to organize you.
Right.
One lady, I went in her house one time, and it stopped me potlucking.
Right.
I'm just don't do it.
Uh-huh.
She was baking cakes for people,
Right.
and in her oven, she had like thousands of mice droppings.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
So every time she heated
Are you
it
serious,
up,
really? Oh, my goodness. Oh,
yeah.
my
So
goodness. Wow.
I stopped potlucking. People be out sugar sharp in the street,
Right.
but their houses are nasty. You like, wait a minute.
Wow.
So yes, you have to be very careful. You know who you do business with.
Right.
But if I'm cleaning your house, I'm in your stuff. I'm seeing certain things, but I want to organize you.
Right, right,
And also train you
right,
how to be
right, right.
clean.
Right. Now, do you ever in your service, and I want you to give your number because I want people to call you because I'm loving. I may even call you. I may ask you for. Do you ever help people get rid of stuff?
Yes,
to help
decluttering is a
decluttering.
big,
Is that a big part of your business?
It's a big part of it, but people don't like to pay for that.
Okay,
People
yeah.
have things. If you haven't used something in 2 years, you're not going to use it.
Okay.
Give it away. You can donate it to the Goodwill Salvation Army
Okay.
as a tax write-off, but let somebody else have it.
Well,
They
I
said
love that.
one person trash somebody else's treasure. You moving around stuff. The more you have in your house, the more things have to be clean.
Right.
Dust is going to settle on
dust
it.
is gonna
It's
settle
not
on
going to
the-
look cute after a
right,
while,
right.
right? And then if you're organized, you cut down on the time. You know how you looking for something?
Right.
Where's the flashlight?
Right.
Where my keys?
Right, exactly.
If you had a place where you put your keys,
Every
every
time,
time you
I'm-
come
I'm-
into
I'm
the
very
house,
good about that,
you
yeah.
know where they are.
Yeah, yeah.
You want your house to look like a magazine.
So before we go, I want you to look in the camera and say what's your number? How do people get in contact with you? Because there are going to be people who need you, and I may be one of them.
Thank
So
you. Yes, you can call me. My website is not up and running yet. I have a young lady that's working on that for me. But for right now, you can call me at 610-772-6606. I will repeat that, 610-772-6606.
and the name of the business again?
Nice and neat cleaning service, and also top-notch property management. You may have a property that you don't want to be dealing with the tenant, and that's fine. I'll deal with the tenant. I'm a people person. I love talking to people, and I love helping people.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, this has been wonderful. It's
Yes.
great. These things always go so quickly.
Yeah,
I am
so
so impressed with you and what you're doing,
I'm
and
impressed
I hope our guests will reach out to you. So, Allegra Muhammad, thank you again. I want to thank
thank
all
you.
of you for watching Entrepreneur State of Mind, and we will see you next week. Take care.
you.
Bye bye.
Be blessed.